What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of What's Cookin' with the McLemore boys. Today's episode is going to be really cool, guys, because we are talking to the founder of Pistol Creek, world-renowned hunter. He is a dear friend and a sexy, sexy turkey caller, Mr. John Browning.
Thank y'all for having me. This is good. I gotta say one thing. I'm co-founder. Co-founder Austin Long, who's no longer with us. He and I sort of founded this, so I'm co-founder.
Very honorable for you to say that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm your host, John Boy. We got our co-host, Big John, here. Mr. John Browning,
Yes.
co-founder
of Pistol Creek.
Of Pistol Creek. And I heard this earlier, you were 12, 13 years? No, 9 years.
Yeah, 9 years. Next year will be our 10th anniversary.
10th anniversary, that's right.
Yep.
So what led you to go from building houses and cabinets to, and a little backstory for our listeners, Mr. John here was a builder, correct?
I was.
And built cabinets and had a couple businesses.
Yep.
And then I'll let you tell your story, but grew up hunting. And,
I did.
And got into and co-founded Pistol Creek. So what led you to co-founding Pistol Creek with Austin?
So I love sharing this story.
Okay.
First of all, stay checked in because it may ramble a little bit at the beginning, but I hope I bring it home and hit it.
You're in good company.
What I'm telling you is what we call the gospel of Pistol Creek.
Okay.
So, when my wife and I got married, I prayed the prayer that I think everybody does: is, Lord, we want you to be the head of this household.
Right.
And got up the next morning with a sense of urgency that I had to fix my marriage and my wife and myself. And I've had a wonderful marriage. Alicia and I are still married, love of my life. But I didn't really give it over. I felt like I had to be in control of it, or we had control of it. And successful marriage, but there's been times that it would have been easier if we had truly given it over.
Sure.
When I went out on my own and with another gentleman named Jake Brown, and we started Browning and Brown Construction, we did the same thing. He and I prayed, Lord, we want you to be the CEO of this company. We want you to take it. We're giving it to you. But we didn't really give it to him because we woke up the next morning and had this urgency because our life depended on it. Our wives depended on it. My child depended on it. At that time, I only had one daughter. And we didn't truly give it away,
Right.
Then one thing led to another with the construction company. I had the opportunity in 2008, and for those of y'all that remember what the economy was like in 2008, only an idiot would have decided to purchase a cabinet shop in 2008. But the guy who had always built our custom cabinets on the projects that we did wanted to sell it.
Right.
For good reasons. It wasn't in any dire straits or anything, but for some health reasons he wanted to do it, and I wanted out of the construction, or at least the general. I got into construction because I was a carpenter by trade. I wanted to drive the nails, and now I was carrying a briefcase and wearing khakis to work and discussing language and contracts, and that's not me.
Yeah.
So I said, this would be great. I'll do cabinets.
Get back to your craft and
Yeah. So Alicia and I buy the cabinet shop. And from it, More Cabinets never changed the name of it because it was such a successful business. Why would you change the name?
Sure.
Right.
And plus that provided me a little bit of anonymity, too. People could ask for Mr. Moore, and I could say, well, he's not in right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the gospel, I did the same thing.
yeah.
Scared at this time period. Alicia and I had been able to acquire some success, and now in that time period, and you remember it, we were worried that maybe everything we had worked for was going to be gone.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we were doing something that nobody else probably did at that
Right.
time, which is buy anything in the construction industry or invest in the construction industry. But it worked out really good. But I prayed again, Lord, if this is your plan for my life, you're going to have to take this and run with it. I'm giving it to you. But I didn't really.
Yeah.
Because I still felt like There was a sense of urgency. I can't afford to fail.
Sure.
Now, by this time, we've got 3 girls. I can't afford to fail. This is, life and death every day when you go to work. And things did pretty good, but I didn't completely give it over. I still worried. I still felt like I had to micromanage every portion of it instead of truly giving this away.
Over. Yeah.
Right.
At the same time, I was the family and children's ministry leader at our church, and it ended under good terms. We had long story short, a new pastor came in, wanted to change sort of some things around the church, and wasn't necessarily fired, but my position, the ministry that we were doing, was going to no longer exist.
Sure.
Had a lot of time on my hands. I was a fly fishing guide, and I decided I was going to give that up because I realized on Saturdays after I worked all week, and my girls wanted to go be with Daddy,
Yeah.
and I was taking somebody else or their kids fishing, and my girls were sitting at home waiting for me to get home because they're
Right.
getting up to that age.
Right.
And I said, I'm going to hang that up, which was a leap of faith, I think, because that was good income for
Sure.
when we're trying to rebuild a business that I'd taken over. And all of a sudden, I went from being so busy to all kinds of free time. And my middle daughter, Emma, wanted to go turkey hunting. I told her how fun turkey hunting was. It's the greatest hunting there is. And she was already a very accomplished deer hunter. This would have been 2016, so she would have been 11.
Yeah.
And my turkey call that I had always used was broken. I tried to fix it, and it was not fixable.
Right.
The wood itself was broken, and I said, I can build this. And I built a turkey call, and through some of the friendships that y'all have met here this weekend, those people in the very beginning, Tony Ryder, I got to throw him out, Jeremy Barton that you met yesterday,
Yeah.
they fell in love with the calls, and they got in touch with other people, and all of a sudden we were getting calls. Austin, who was not a turkey hunter but managed the shop for me, he fell in love with building them. He saw me building them and was like, I want to do that. What are you doing? This makes no sense. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen, make a turkey call, but this looks fun.
Right.
And he fell in love with the building of them, and I will say that provided us a very good mutual it allowed us to strengthen the relationship he and I had together because we found something we enjoyed doing together.
Right.
And that relationship being strengthened helped the cabinet shop as well.
Okay.
And but anyway, we started having a little bit of success, and we had to come up with a name that we never planned we were going to have to come up with a name.
Yeah.
We had to do some things that I was like, man, I just built a turkey call.
Yeah.
And I literally said, Lord, if this is your plan for my life, you're going to have to do something with this because I've got a construction company, I've got a wife, I've got children, I've got a cabinet shop. I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
And I let it go because there was no sense of urgency. And now we're sitting in Wyoming with the McLemore boys. I'm still married, but there is no construction company. There is no cabinet shop. And the one thing I truly gave away put us together.
How
about that?
That's pretty cool.
So that's, it's scary, but
Sure.
if you need to, if you truly think that's what God's will for your life is, let it go.
Yeah.
Let him have it.
Tell us the name Pistol Creek. 'Cause you told me this last year,
Okay.
I think, this story about where the name came from.
So the property that I grew up on hunting, and y'all met Gracie this week. Gracie's dad was hunting on it. The back boundary of that property is a very unsightly body of water named Pistol Creek. And that's but there is a road that has always been referred to as the road to Pistol Creek. It's a dirt road. And I think I used to call it the road to Pistol Creek. My daughters called it the road to Pistol Creek. It's where I learned to drive a manual transmission. It's where the girls learn to drive cars.
Yeah.
Of course, there's no manual transmissions anymore.
Right.
And when we were forced to realize this is becoming a business. We have to have a name. Because we built them in Dahlonega, Georgia, we really felt like we were going to do something. That was the site of the nation's first ever gold rush, was Dahlonega, Georgia.
I did not know that.
So we're thinking something to do with gold, something. But it's so overdone. Everything in Dahlonega is gold, and nothing really just rang off. And Emma was there. She actually would come to the shop in the evenings and hang out with me in Austin and build calls because she thought it was fun. And we were like, we've got to come up with a name. And her mother had dropped her off after school, and she said, you ought to name it Pistol Creek. And Austin said, that's it.
That's cool.
And I said, no. I said, no, Pistol Creek is a stagnant, just muddy, nasty cesspool of a body of water. And he said, well, we'll go take a picture of the Amicalola Falls out there and tell them that's Pistol Creek. That's a cool name. That's what we're going with. So, and that's I'll be honest with you, that's one of the most asked questions we get is, it's a cool name, man. Where'd you come up with that name? Yeah. And that's
a crappy looking body of water.
Yeah. Yep. It's awful.
So did you ever turkey hunt on Pistol Creek?
Oh yeah. We
so that's a genuine thing.
Mm-hmm, yeah. And a lot of the names of our calls are named after areas. You know how everybody names their stands or their locations, but a lot of those names come from places like the Rusty Barrels, the Cutover,
the whiskey stand. We have whiskey stills on our property. We'd call something a whiskey stand.
And so that's. I'm very sentimental. I'm very nostalgic.
Sure.
And so that's sort of. It just sort of fit, and it does. I got to admit, it is a pretty cool name.
It is cool,
but I cannot take credit for it. That would be Emma's suggestion and Austin's insistence that it became Pistol Creek. And Austin actually did both logos that we use. Austin did those. We didn't hire that out. He came up with those himself.
That's cool.
So
and you mentioned we lost Austin.
Yeah. So that would have been. Austin had some kidney issues and he was young. He would have been 41 when he passed, and that would have been April 8th of 2023. Chris Eastridge sitting right over there, and I were in Alabama turkey hunting, and I knew Austin was. He still came to work every day. He would get it there early. He'd go home late because he loved it. He loved that shop. He loved being in it, whether it was turkey calls, cabinets, whatever it may be. It wasn't always fun, but he loved it.
Yeah.
And we were in Alabama turkey hunting that Saturday morning and got a call from his phone at 6 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, okay, whatever. There's something going on in the cabinet shop on a Saturday. Because he would go there for fun.
Yeah.
On Saturdays until it was time for him to go out with his wife and kids and do something that afternoon. He was at the cabinet shop tinkering, doing something. And I was like, wait a minute. And I just sort of hit it, hey, man, in the woods, what's up? Sent a text back. And then it just sort of dawned on me. I was like, I better call him back. And Chris was like, well, man, call him back. And I called him back, and his wife answered, Sherry. And when she did, I sort of knew, you know.
Wow.
And he had passed in his sleep. And it was not from the kidneys, but it was technically, I guess it would be sleep apnea that got him.
Yeah.
But that was a pretty big blow.
Yeah.
Wow. You know,
41.
And he was the lifeblood. I mean, I was the guy that owned the place and did all that, but he was the lifeblood of that cabinet shop. And so that was tough.
That was 2023.
Yeah.
So I remember. I'm trying to think of the day. Chris Patchen told me about the cabinet shop burning down.
Yes.
When was that?
That was 2024.
Okay, so Pistol Creek has been through it, and I remember him telling me when he was first starting to work with y'all. I think.
Yeah.
I don't want to get the dates wrong, but, and loose story was he's like, yeah, you know, John still had the cabinet shop, and he's like, I think he's gonna go full time with it because I think that was the final straw.
There's a guy named Clay Page that lives near Pistol Creek, and he's pretty talented and we love him, a musician, country music star. Not star yet, but I think he's going to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's well versed in the story, and he wrote a song called "Heartbreaking a Hero," or "Heartbreak to a Hero," and it's pretty much the story of Pistol Creek.
Wow.
Because Austin was a huge blow. We've had Terry Durham, Clinton Phipps, Trace. Y'all met this week. I'd have never known him without Terry Durham. Terry passed of cancer in 21, 22. And then, of course, we were at Nashville at the Grand National Convention.
That's right, because Chris told me, he's like, John was supposed to be here, and then he couldn't make it or had to leave or something.
I had to leave. I left at 1 o'clock that morning, went back. Cabinets, it was still smoking. And my wife and I had both in our own ways been praying that something else, that there was an exit strategy that could be born, because the cabinet shop was as much financial freedom as it afforded us, because it was doing very well.
Sure.
It wasn't worth it because of the amount of, especially after Austin passed, because it put it back on me to be manager, owner, designer, all of that. And we had some other guys that stepped in and did really well at the time, but it was very hard on me.
Sure.
And
well, God obviously gave you a son.
But I remember driving home from Nashville that evening and going, I didn't mean that. You know, that's not what I was talking about.
Yeah.
But he does not make mistakes.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't. And
did you ever think about rebuilding the shop?
That was one of the things on the radar. We could have we could have rebuilt it.
Yeah. Because Masterbuilt went through that. We had 2 fires, and they had to make a decision. Like, is this what we want to keep doing and rebuild? And
everything was so crazy in the construction industry at that time. We had a little, almost. It was, I can't remember the exact number, but it was almost $500,000 worth of finished cabinets sitting in our shop.
Jeez.
We were having to move them out if it was sunny, we'd have to move them outside in the mornings to have room to work, because nobody could accept their cabinets. And so when it burned, all of that finished product burned as well.
Gone. Wow.
And I was not. I mean, I knew we were insured, and Nationwide was on my side. I'm sorry, I'm throwing that out there. I hope, they were on my side. The guys worked hard, but I was only insured for X amount, and but they worked really, really hard to help me, because they realized I'd never done this before. I didn't know what I was doing, but they didn't take advantage of me. They really helped me.
Yeah.
This episode of What's Cooking is brought to you by Nationwide.
Nationwide.
On your
But the content section of my insurance company was not prepared for, because when we set it up, I was like, I never thought we'd have $500,000 worth of cabinets.
Sure.
Right.
So that would have meant that to build it back and get it started again, my wife and I were going to have to acquire debt.
Yeah.
In our 50s, and we were essentially debt-free.
Yeah.
And we had already been praying for a way out of it, and I just decided, okay, we're going to build it back and sell it, and we can build the entire thing back. We can build a portion of it back, and then finally Brenda Helton, who does all my financing stuff for the cabinet shop and now Pistol Creek, everything. She said, and she's also my real estate agent. She said, "Why don't we just sell it as is?" And I looked at it, I was like, who's going to buy that?
Yeah.
But she showed me on paper, she said, you can build it back, and you're going to make about this much.
Yeah.
You can build half of it back, and you're going to make about the same amount, because it's lower price. Or we can sell it as is for this, and you're going to, because it was paid for.
Sure.
Yeah.
And she said, and you're going to get the same amount.
Yeah.
It's going to take you 6 to 8 weeks before you could even think of rebuilding. Let me see if I can sell it for you. And she sold it in less than 3 weeks.
Wow. Good for you.
And I was like, yeah, okay, let's do that. And very good price on it, but honestly, it was about the same I stood to make on it. It was the equity I had basically generated.
So at that time when that happened, you have essentially made a decision. I'm gonna go full time, Pistol Creek.
I knew Pistol Creek was what I wanted to do.
Sure.
And it was a little bit of, and I remember my wife saying this, and my wife is, I'm a sucker for her. I love her, but she doesn't talk a lot, you know, but it's, I was like, I think I'm this, and this was not a conversation one evening. This was,
over time,
over the course of a couple months. I said, I think we need to give this Pistol Creek thing a go for it. Let's take it out for a spin instead of it being something that's fun to do on the side. And we've met all these friends and we have a good time at going to Nashville. And I've gotten to hunt places I never thought I'd ever get to hunt. Let's take it out for a spin. Even though I promised I'd never turn it into a business because I don't want it to become a job.
Sure.
Right.
And she sort of looked at me, and I don't think she said this, but this is what she communicated.
Right.
Well, duh, it's the only thing we've got left. You know?
So I got a question.
Don't have a lot of options.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you. What's the perfect job?
Oh,
There's no right or wrong answer, but what's the perfect job?
So the perfect job is that I can stay mentally and physically active for an entire day and go home at the day with tangible evidence of what I have accomplished. I love cutting grass. Yeah. Because every lap I make, I see progress.
Yeah.
You know, that's just me. But I think that's the perfect job. I do not buy into find something you love to do and figure out a way to make money at it, and you'll never work a day in your life.
Dad, what's your answer?
So
I don't believe that. I'm sorry. I hope we don't disagree.
No.
The perfect job is the job that you love to do so much you would do it for free, but you do it so well you get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we do.
Yeah.
We love what we do, and I hope Pistol Creek for you and your family can be what Masterbuilt was for us.
Right.
I did it for 50 years. Second generation. John was going to be third generation. And the day that we sold that business, I loved Masterbuilt and the people in that business through every hard time, every up and down. I loved it more every single day.
But I
for
do
some
think,
reason, I just thrived on loving what I did.
I do think kind of what you're saying, though, they can in my opinion, they can coexist because in a way, you are living that, though, because you genuinely love to turkey hunt.
I do.
You're good at making calls, and you found a way to get paid doing it.
Right.
And now you're in Wyoming doing this incredible hunt.
Right.
And an incredible podcast.
Now, your challenge is to not turn it into work so much that you end up hating turkey hunting.
Right.
I mean, I understand that part. I mean, that's no different than building grills or cooking.
Right.
I mean, I don't go home and go, oh, let me cook a pork tenderloin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you do it so much, and I try to balance that level of I want to love doing it for that crowd of people, so I balance maybe how much I do it so I don't learn to hate it. I kind of see eye to eye maybe with you on that. But that's a hard thing. I mean, small businesses you're always going to have those hard challenge balances there.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take us down a little bit of a path about Pistol Creek, and I saw something in hunting. Obviously, we're here in Wyoming. We are turkey hunting on a phenomenal farm, and I was asked a question by Tyler Jordan earlier about, and John asked him actually the question, what is one of your most memorable hunts? And I've shot 2 turkeys. I've gone turkey hunting twice in my life, and I've been successful both times.
Thank you, Pistol Creek.
Yep.
We do our best.
Been on both of them.
Yeah.
And my most memorable hunt was the hunt that I did with my dad in the last days that I had to spend with him deer hunting. My most fun hunt was 2 days ago here in Wyoming.
Oh, yeah.
Getting to see y'all do your thing.
Oh, and that was beautiful, too.
Was
beautiful hunt.
Awesome. Chris Patchen got to video it, and I got to experience a turkey hunt that was different than the one in Troup County. That was a fun hunt, but this one was a show.
Yeah, it was.
And we
You
got
got
to
it right in
watch-
your face too.
Right in my face. We got to see the pageantry of this majestic bird, farm to table kind of thing. I'm taking the fan home to mount it.
They are
but
majestic, but they're real ugly.
No, they're beautiful.
They're beautiful.
I did a podcast the
Parts
other day.
of them are ugly. The other parts.
I
are
just
beautiful.
go ahead and tell you, I've caught so much off another podcast I did the other day because he said, "Let's face it, it's a goofy-looking bird," and I just sort of. So I didn't correct him though, but it is a beautiful animal.
It is. They when his video of his strutting
Oh yeah,
is just a gorgeous sight.
It
and
was
they're so
crazy.
unique too. I mean,
Yeah,
there's just,
yeah.
they do things
Yeah.
that
And I had been having a lot of fun with Trace
Yeah.
Clinton about we hunted on Saturday, and didn't see anything. Stayed out there 30 minutes after dark, just calling them and listening and.
But
trying to
you're
figure out
learning.
Learning. We went to the same place the next morning, about an hour and a half. Didn't see anything. He's got his phone out. He's like, "Let's load
Yep.
up. We're gonna go right here."
Yep.
And we get out of the car, and about a 40-minute car ride. I'd been drinking coffee.
yeah,
I had
I know.
to go pee. I'm sorry. And he's like, "We got to go. You got to hurry." So because he heard them as soon as we
Right, yeah.
parked. And so we're all hurrying, and we get to a spot and get situated in. I'm very uncomfortable where I'm sitting. And we hear this bird. We were there 12 minutes and 30 seconds,
Yeah,
which was very different from the last, the night before. The
2
morning.
days of
Yeah.
hunting.
It's been
And,
tough this year.
Yeah, it's been tough.
So I get to experience Trace calling this thing all the way. It's probably about a 28 to 30 yard shot. Might have been 200 yards. I can't remember. But
We
200
do
yards.
not advocate 200-yard shots at Pistol Creek.
you do not. So mine
20
was
gauge slug.
30, probably 28 to 30 yards. And the fact that he was able to call this bird so close.
Isn't that fascinating though?
It was majestic.
Yeah.
It was absolutely.
Yeah.
So it will be one of my most memorable and fun
Well, good.
style hunts, to be able to have that bird come as close as we needed it to, and to get it from one spot to another. I was watching it through a scope on this gun, and I was so focused to be able to tag this bird that the scope was a little too close to my forehead
And
when I
scoped
pulled the
him.
trigger on that 2-gauge shotgun. Somebody said, "Was it a 12 gauge?" I said, "No, it was a 2 gauge." And
Dude.
and I was focused for multiple reasons. One, I didn't want to miss the shot
Right.
for Trace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to miss it on camera. And I didn't want to get up the next morning. I wanted to sleep in, so I was focused on getting that bird.
Yeah.
And that scope popped me right there.
How far was your shot?
28 yards.
Mine was
29?
like 39, 31, 32 yards. Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit further.
But it was a smaller bird.
It was a smaller bird.
His first bird was bigger than mine.
Yeah.
But mine
Yeah.
yesterday was a little bit bigger.
But man, learning about turkey hunting, because Pistol Creek, for our listeners, Pistol Creek makes turkey calls,
Right.
correct? And what are the kinds of turkey calls?
So we've got friction calls, which consist of the pot calls, which are glass or slate, or
Yeah.
the ones I made y'all last year. Those are pot calls.
And we came to Wyoming and did not bring our turkey call.
I don't know.
That's all right. We got you covered.
Wow.
So
You did get us.
Dang, why did you have to call us out like that? I just thought about that.
I thought about it when we were on.
We've been on the
hunt.
road for like 3.5 weeks. I didn't have camo unless my wife brought it to you.
well, I'm hoping y'all put those up somewhere.
Yeah.
They're actually in the podcast studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're
so
sitting
very
on the
good.
table.
Very
Yeah.
good. Those are
They're memorabilia.
two of a kind.
Those
Yeah.
are those.
that have
That's
never
memorabilia.
never be done before.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, thank you for those, by the way.
So,
but
turkey calls. You got
you
pot
got pot
calls?
calls. We got friction calls. We do mouth calls, and that's really where that portion of our business is really starting to take off, because instead of just the old carpenter guy in the shop turning out wood stuff, we have been successful in acquiring a whole lot of friends and a whole lot of people that are interested in the way we chose to do Pistol Creek.
That's cool.
Because we had the ability at the beginning
Sure.
Yeah.
that the cabinet shop was taking care of everything.
Sure.
So we were able to make Pistol Creek fun. And all those folks you see over there, except
Yeah.
for Gracie Gooch, are people I've met because of Pistol Creek.
Yeah.
And they're my friends now.
Yeah.
And so we had that luxury in the beginning. This is going to stay fun. We're
Right.
going to keep this
Right.
fun. And Pistol Creek is also, that's one of the things I told myself, excuse me, when I'm not a big fan of using your faith in marketing.
Sure.
I don't. It's not me.
Sure.
I'm not judging anybody. It's just not me. But Pistol Creek also started in the very beginning. As I said, this is going to be a ministry that is disguised as a turkey call company instead of a turkey call company that's disguised as a ministry.
Yeah.
And a lady that's with us named Beverly Lingle, she and I met each other getting our Sunday school certifications, actually, so that we were certified to teach Sunday school. We met the assistant pastor of the church called and said, "Do you care to drive two ladies to Athens with you for your certification?" I said, "No, that's fine. They were with me." And she and I hit it off, and we haven't stopped talking since. And that was 15 years ago.
Yeah,
That's cool.
But she ended up working for me at the cabinet shop, and she's a very integral part of Pistol Creek, and she agrees. And our whole philosophy on our ministry at Pistol Creek is we're going to carry out what we call the 11th commandment that Jesus left us before he ascended into heaven, and that's change the world based on how you love it.
Yeah.
And so that's just sort of what we do.
Yeah.
And it's amazing when you do that. I went from having 2 or 3 close friends to I've got friends in states all over the place.
Right.
So this has been a great vehicle for that.
That's cool.
But now there also is there's a time frame on the amount of that Alicia's going to allow me to continue to do this unless it's genuinely paying the bills.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But man, I've just had a blast. I would have never met y'all.
Sure.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't have gotten to hunt with Tyler Jordan this evening and yesterday evening. I know for a fact I wouldn't have ate that bacon wrapped turkey stuff, cream cheese jalapeno thing that was absolutely stupid good.
Yeah.
And I feel blessed. I hope it continues.
Sure.
But I'm careful not to pinch myself because sometimes I just don't want to wake up.
Well,
Right.
we hope it continues too, which means, guys, go to pistolcreek.com, buy you some turkey calls.
That's exactly
Or
right.
hats or shirts
Or
or make
hats or
charitable donations. Any of
Yeah.
those are well accepted.
Well, so another thing, because we met through Patchen, Chris Patchen,
Right.
who was on the podcast, and and I don't know when this episode will drop, so he either has been on the podcast or will be on the podcast. I don't know where it's going to get slated, but we met through Chris Patchen, who's a longtime dear friend of ours, and Chris has been a longtime turkey hunter. Started his own marketing company and started working with you guys,
Right.
and was like, man, we had talked about it for at least a year or two. And he's like, man, I got to hook you and John up. And it's Pistol Creek. I'm doing some stuff with them. I just think y'all hit it off. And then he mentioned Joe Drake and Tom Drake. And
That's
I was
right.
like, what the heck? I know Tom and Joe. I wrestled with Tom's kids, and Tom coached me. And I'd known Joe through Tom, and I always knew him as Joe.
Right.
Tom. I didn't know Joe was
Yeah,
Joe
the
Drake.
goat.
The goat.
Yeah, the goat.
And so we got a chance to go hunting last year. Y'all came out to my house, actually.
It is pretty crazy that the very first time that we go hunting is with Pistol Creek and one of the greatest turkey callers
I know.
in the
And the
history.
second time we go hunting is in Wyoming
With Tyler Durden.
With Tyler Durden and
You
some of
guys-
the greatest turkey callers of all time. We are spoiled.
Yeah, it's probably going to be downhill from here. I don't know what
no.
we're going to do to top that one. But I got to jump in 1 second,
Yeah.
and then you remember where you're at.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, you could watch, I think, Buckmasters on the Nashville Network or something just
Yeah.
before Inside Winston Cup Racing came on. And
Yeah.
that was, or you had to go to the local sporting goods store to. So this is a God thing I'm talking about. Had to go to a local sporting goods store to rent the Realtree videos and that's the only media that there really was about hunting. Now you watch fishing shows, but hunting shows you had to go do that. And my mother will attest to it that every year when Realtree came out with the Memories of Spring or whatever, I had to go get the Joe Drake stuff. I wanted to see Joe Drake. I've told people, I've said it in front of Joe, and I've said it when he wasn't around. There was Jesus, there was Herschel, and there was Joe. and now Joe and I get to hunt together.
How cool is that?
You know, I mean, no, that's not coincidence. There was a plan there.
Sure.
There was a plan
No
there.
question.
Yeah.
I mean, and how special it was. And Mom loved Joe Drake, even though she couldn't stand to sit there and watch those turkeys and deer get shot. She loved Joe Drake because her little boy loved him.
Yeah.
You know, so that's pretty cool.
So, I'm just checking this real quick. So, you're 9 years old. Pistol Creek, it's not you,
Yeah.
but Pistol Creek is 9 years old. And 10 years is coming up. America's 250 is coming up. And I know we had talked a little bit about, because the McLemore boys, we hunted last year, and we talked about doing some America 250 things. And we're on this Grilling Across America tour with our TV show and stuff. And you guys are turning 10.
Mm-hmm.
Anything special coming up for America 250?
Well, we did a we call it the We the People box set.
Okay.
There is a very good sounding pot call in there that has a copy of the Constitution on the soundboard. Okay. It's in a laminated pot that I did. There's 13 red and white stripes. The red is wood is called Paduke, and the white is English walnut, because I wanted it to have a little bit of a heirloom. I didn't want it to be stark white.
Sure.
Like it's got a little bit of a dirty white to it. And then the top and the bottom, because originally it was all striped, and the stripes were a lot larger. And but because it's round, when you got to the 12 o'clock and the 6 o'clock, it really distorted when that circle went through the stripes. So I capped it with a wood that I call wingay. Some people call it whinge, on the top and bottom, and it's got the Pistol Creek medallion in the back. And it's got a custom striker it's got a two-piece diamond wood striker that I've taken the off-fall of that pot and did the cap with it. It comes with 3 mouth calls that Chris Eastridge designed.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And in that set, and then it also comes with a Jeb's choke tube gift card. Good, you can redeem it for a Jeb's choke tube of your choice. We wanted to put a choke tube in the box, but we don't know what shotgun you shoot, and
Right.
so Jeb was like, we'll just do gift cards. They call us in,
cool.
they call us, they do this, boom, we'll send them whatever thing they want.
And
So that's for that's sort of to celebrate America's 250th anniversary.
That's cool.
Wow.
Has that been released?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we released that we did a sort of a soft release in Nashville. But it is done well. We made 76 of those boxes. 76 because of
Yeah.
and they're numbered.
That's pretty cool.
We've sold a good many of them.
Yeah.
NWTF is going to be doing a feature on it in the July version of Turkey Call magazine.
That's cool.
Because they're doing some stuff, and I think there was, and I'm not saying a competitor's name on here because I'm not going to mention their names, because I honestly can't remember who it was. But there's another, I want to say maybe it's Houndstooth or Woodhaven or somebody. They've done something. So there's going to be a couple of call companies featured in this that have done something to celebrate America's 250th birthday.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of a write-up on it.
That's cool.
So that's neat. So we think there's going to be a big push there.
That's cool.
That's got. I actually look forward to seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
I might want to buy one of those to put in our Freedom Bus, because we've got We the People.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the
that would be really
Constitution,
cool.
1776 Freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of similarities about our Freedom Tour Bus
Yeah.
that you just
Well,
explained.
we're going to make that happen. We're going to get one in there. You ain't got to
Yeah.
buy nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no,
You know.
we'll buy it. Well, I want to support. Well, and because we had talked about this being an America 250 hunt. Now,
It turned into just a good fellowship.
well,
though,
I was
didn't
going
it?
to say,
Yeah.
you know, one of the things that we've learned is in the last, I'd say even couple months, is as we've done this America 250 thing, is every event, everything we do doesn't have to be this massive celebration with
Right.
TV and all this craziness and celebrities and whatever. Celebrating America's 250th birthday can be just fellowship.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily comparing it to maybe where two or more are gathered, God is near. You don't have to have church in four walls
Right.
with a big congregation.
That's
Church
right.
can be just this.
That's what-
And I think celebrating America's 250th can be just this, which is reminiscent of America's founding principles, which is living off of God's green earth, and getting to experience this beautiful nature that we're in here in Wyoming.
Yeah.
And a couple of really cool family businesses coming together, from the McLemore boys to Pistol Creek to Real Tree to Limelight. I said that right? Or
Skyline.
Lime,
You're
Lime-
thinking of Rush songs, I think.
well,
yeah.
Limelight was a wedding venue I was at the other week.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
you're thinking about weddings.
Yeah, Skyline.
Skyline Outfitters, Sean
Outfitters.
Fricky.
Yeah, Sean Fricky.
Mm-hmm.
So these cool family businesses coming together, getting to celebrate, and it's about the fellowship. Ultimately.
100%.
And that, I feel like that's one thing that I've learned about you and Pistol Creek is a lot of what the McLemore boys do is people think that we're culinary trained chefs, and we're not. We're just redneck barbecue cooks.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things we specialize in isn't so much cooking. We like to think that we're good at cooking food, but I always tell the story. The last time you cooked a hot dog at your house, you probably don't remember it. But the last time you had a hot dog at the ballpark with your kid and a cold beer,
Yes.
you do. And it ain't about the hot dog; it's about the fellowship.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to lean into that to where it's about the experience. It's not always what you say; it's how you make people feel, and telling stories. And that's what I think that we specialize in. That's another thing that I think we relate to you in Pistol Creek is, I mean, of course we want to have a good, successful hunt. Of course we want to get a
Right.
turkey on the ground. And it's most of the time we do. Sometimes you don't, but
Most of the time, y'all do. I personally have not got a turkey on the ground yet on this trip, but I've had a blast.
But I was going to say the fellowship is what it's
Right.
about. And celebrating America's 250th doesn't have to be these grandiose things. It can be just a couple of guys hanging out, having a great time.
Well, look, I mean, it's our slogan for before Pistol Creek existed. This was just sort of my deal. I didn't coin this phrase,
Right.
but I've dang sure adopted it. But on most of our apparel or somewhere, you're going to find for those who embrace the journey as much as the destination.
That's cool.
You know, that's what Pistol Creek is. It's about the experience. It's not about checking off check marks of accomplishments. It's, hey, let's enjoy ourselves. And I mean, they can't see it on camera, but there's a group of folks right over there
Yep.
that are having a good time. You know.
Yeah, if y'all
And,
hear people talking in the background, we got a
you know,
group of our hunters
that-
just chilling.
these are my
those-
best friends.
Those
you know.
are over there going, I wish they would get through so we could go to bed.
Well, I think they've heard how much y'all talk this week, and they know how much I can talk. They're probably expecting this to go on at least another 3 hours.
Yeah.
So, because that's one thing I'm truly good at is talking.
Well, it's funny because we were talking about the podcast, and I was like, hey, be yourself. It's going to be laid back. We're just going to talk about a little about maybe your faith, maybe Pistol Creek, and telling some stories. And he goes, listen here. I'm a ordained pastor from the Baptist Ministries. As you were
drinking my bourbon drink.
and you said, trust me, son, I can talk.
Yeah. So speaking of being an ordained pastor and not minding sharing your faith.
Technically, it is ordained deacon that gives me pastoral liberties, I guess, but my title is technically not pastor.
Okay. Ordained person.
Yes.
Dad's ordained online.
I'm ordained.
Well,
That doesn't make him a. Does it make him a pastor?
I think you
No.
can marry folks, but
I married him.
Yeah, he married me.
I married Chris Eastridge.
Yeah.
Well,
know?
he married us because he was free.
So was I. Now that I think about it,
Well, I had done 3 funerals. I might as well get somebody
done-
married.
you know, that was one of the neat things, though. I've done several weddings, but one of the true, this is going to come out wrong, so please take it, Alicia, please take this the way I mean it, maybe not the way it sounds. One of the true, most rewarding things I've done was I with no voice, because I'd lost my voice at Nashville that weekend, I was able to conduct the service of my mother-in-law's funeral.
Yeah.
And that was special.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
that
you
was
got
good.
you got asked to do
My father-in-law and my
brother-in-law.
my brother-in-law.
Were you nervous when you did that?
You know, because I knew them so well, I wasn't really that nervous, but it was a little nerve-wracking
Sure.
doing it. But I was so honored to be able to do it. And then spoke at my dad's funeral. My son from Texas actually conducted the actual funeral.
He's an
and
actual pastor.
He's an actual pastor.
Like us.
So, but speaking of being in that ministry, every time we do a podcast, we end it with a verse
Yeah.
of the podcast.
Okay.
And you were going to share a verse with us. So what is your verse for us?
Okay, the verse comes with an explanation first,
Okay.
and it goes back to what I told
I'm
you
not
about the
surprised.
Yeah, I mean,
At all.
I'm going for the record here. I want the longest podcast. I want the longest one. I think at any given time, your favorite Bible verse can be different. I also think for your entire life, your favorite Bible verse can be the same thing, and at different phases in your life, it can mean different things at different times.
Yeah.
Because there's a spiritual aspect to the Word of God.
Right.
It's got a supernatural power, and the same thing that meant something to you at 12 could mean something different at 52.
Yeah.
You're
But
52.
yeah,
Damn.
I'm 52. I can't help it. I look like I'm 25. But I believe it or not, I'm actually 52.
Please insert Kevin Hart and that other guy. I'm sorry.
Never mind.
I'll show you the meme afterwards.
Squirrel verse.
So I used to tell my mother that I felt guilty growing up if I didn't go hunting. I felt guilty that I was not going hunting, but at the same time, I felt guilty for feeling that way.
Yeah.
Right.
But I wasn't mature enough to understand that at that time maybe this was something that was part of your life. I was very goal-oriented. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to make my mother and father especially proud.
Sure.
Yeah.
And was not mature enough to understand that, just like we talked about the other night driving back from the grave place, and Dad will be proud I remembered this. There's a difference between prosperity and wealth.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm probably not mature enough to understand that. And but later on, I shared that with Mom, and then this is when my 3 daughters had all started to hunt, and they started falling in love with it. And I said, I know now why I used to feel so good. This was part of God's plans. I was supposed to do this for these 3 girls because I shared a childhood. They shared a childhood with their father that I'm proud of.
That's cool.
I hope they are, because they, maybe they got drug along doing guy things that I enjoyed doing, but that's what I felt like I had to offer them.
Yeah.
And I wanted them to have that as a piece of me, not a new car or a necklace or something. I wanted them to have a piece of me to remember me by. Sure. That's something I loved, and I wanted to share it with them and them alone. So I was like, that's why I used to always feel God was getting me ready to take these girls hunting.
Yeah.
And then Pistol Creek started having a little bit of success, and that was very rewarding. But like I said, there was no urgency, and so I was like, oh wow, this is something else. And we really saw. I mean, Austin gave his life to Christ through the relationship that we bonded over at Pistol Creek. Wow. And early on, he and I, he was always very respectful of my faith, but he believed that religion was just something that the elites do to explain away unexplained science and to control the masses.
Yeah.
And I said, man, I'm right there with you. I have the same opinions of religion, but I'm talking about a faith.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a relationship, not a religion.
Right.
And through what Pistol Creek did, he one day said, this was never a coincidence, was it? I said, no, this was a plan, and we've allowed it to take place. And Austin accepted Christ. And
That's amazing.
we're all going to get to see Austin again pretty soon.
Yeah.
In God's time, anyway. I hope not tomorrow, but in God's time, it's going to be pretty soon.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, this is.
It is tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah, but I'm rolling.
No, it's good.
I'm
You're
in the
good.
time.
But I'm gonna wrap it up here. But anyway, we then Austin passed, and the cabinet shop burned down, and I was left with Pistol Creek, and which was ultimately what I really wanted all along. But I felt it would be a dereliction of duty to just go, honey, this successful construction company, and cabinet shop, let's just kick that to the curb and go do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And a very special verse that has been in our family for a long time, and is Esther 4:14. And Esther was talking with Ruth, and granted, Pistol Creek is not as significant as saving the Hebrew nation, but perhaps this is the moment for which you've been created.
Yeah.
And that is always been a very special verse for my family, but I think that is the one that I would like to share.
Yeah.
And I have several very good Bible verses, but that one just has been hitting home now for several years, ever since my daughter got it tattooed on her leg.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, so what's interesting is I kind of talked a little bit about this with Tyler, having been the son of a business owner, successful business owner in our area. And did you ever question that you would go into realty? No different than Masterbuilt.
Mm-hmm.
And that verse right there hits home, because for my entire life, until I got just mature enough, I thought I was the next CEO. I knew it wasn't going to be handed to me. I had to work hard and do all the right things. But that was my goal in life. And I think it took me maturing to go, I actually don't think God created me to be the next CEO. And that was took me some years to get over that and get through it. But knowing what I know now and doing what we are doing now, I firmly believe, especially in this season of my life, that God has created me to be doing this. Yeah. And I needed to go through those years at Masterbuilt and being mentored by Dad and those challenges and ups and downs and learning things. But it has prepared me to do what we're doing now, and I feel so ready and fully suited that I'm like, I think God has created me to be doing exactly what I'm doing right now.
I think so, because I think you're going to impact so many more people doing what you're doing now than what you would as being a CEO.
Yeah. It could be. And no different than you didn't need to be or want to be, but need to be wearing khakis and a briefcase.
Yeah, it's not me.
It's just not you.
Mm-mm.
But seeing you in your element is, and I didn't know you 5 years ago.
Yeah, you didn't really know me much a year and a half ago.
Right.
We just knew of each other.
But having learned who you are and getting to see you in your element and do your craft is pretty cool. Because I've never seen you in a cabinet shop, but seeing you call turkeys and strategizing with the guys, and all these guys are so dang talented and so knowledgeable, but seeing you do all that, and I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole right here for a second.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking about this right now. When you're in your element calling, that's one side of it that I see you kind of perk up, right? You get excited. But when you get back from a hunt, especially a hunt that you aren't successful in, and you and Trace and Chris is it Eastridge?
Eastridge.
And Tyler the other night, and you go into it's kind of like how you go into sales mode when you're like, I'm gonna land that client. That challenge, and you're like, okay, they roosted here, and we need to go here. We need to be up at 3:45. We got to be there here, and you're going into it clicks, and you go into this like that. God created you. That's your element.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty cool to see. And I say that not really knowing your whole life.
Yeah.
But when people go into that, it clicks, and you stop thinking, and your natural makeup just kind of comes out.
Well, perhaps this is what I was created for.
Sure.
You know, but I will tell you, I'm a very analytical person to the detriment of my wife. She said, you don't have to analyze everything, but it's what makes me comfortable. It's what keeps my mind. I've always loved board games. I've loved strategy games. I don't like board games that last as long as a game of chess does, but that's what we're playing. We're playing chess.
Call them board.
Yeah.
Games, but they make you bored.
I like
bored when I play them.
I like to be thinking 3 steps ahead of where I am. That makes me comfortable,
Right.
and it's fun. And I am addicted. I'm a card-carrying member of the 10th Legion, and I am addicted to the gobble.
Yeah.
I would do anything just to hear a gobble again. And I sat there with Tyler Jordan yesterday, and we had a turkey screaming. I mean, we could smell the grasshoppers on his breath. He was so close to us, you know.
Yeah.
And I finally see it walk up, and I'm just sinking down in a hole, making sure I don't get seen because we've got 2 cameras running. And I'm like, oh, Lord, if I'm the one that messes this up, it's going to be on camera, you know. And it walks out, and I'm just starting to chuckle a little bit because Tyler's about to just smash him right in the face. And cameraman caught him off of it because didn't have it on camera. And I really felt like I was going to be crushed because we looked at each other and high-fived and had a blast. And that turkey's still walking around out there. And we said, catch and release hunting. We let that one go. And I realized in that moment, I mean, I like the turkey breast that you cooked this evening. It's just getting to play the game.
Oh, yeah.
It's just 100% getting to play the game. And
That's cool.
All the other stuff that comes along with it that, all the other things you learn by being in the woods.
Sure.
And being amazed that the same person who would same being that made the wild turkey, made the woods, made the nature, made everything, also thought long before my parents did that I would be here one day, and he created me too.
So,
all right.
So, verse of the week, and we always highlight a hero of the week. Who in your life that you'd like to honor?
So, got 2 want to share.
Yeah.
If I can. I try to keep it under 30 minutes. First has got to be my grandfather, James H. McGhee, Jr. Yeah. He served in the 3rd Army in World War II. I think he was, when the war was over, he was a 2nd lieutenant and got a field commission. It was pretty cool. And
you were telling me about that, yeah.
He did. And his service was always honored more by the people around him than he ever would bring attention to it himself. And he was amazing. He was much more amazing as a man. And we would be on here for 3 more hours if I tried to talk about his accomplishments and what he meant to my life. Yeah. And then my brother-in-law, Michael Piatt. Okay. He retired as a full bird colonel. He flew OH-58 Kiowa Warriors for the Army. Wow. Was in the original Desert Storm. Did some stuff in Afghanistan, and he was. I think he was the guy that when I could have gone this direction or that direction as a teenager, my father just sort of said, "Hey, you need to take little John snow skiing because he's got this concert he's wanting to go to this weekend, and I don't want him going to that. So you need to take him snow skiing, and y'all need to be late getting back." Yeah, and he did that.
Yeah,
Well, that's. I appreciate you sharing that. We always try to honor those men and women.
We live in a free country because of them.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so
we'd be. What did Louis Grizzard say? If it weren't for the greatest generation, we'd all be speaking German and eating sauerkraut right now.
Likely.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, man, this has been so fun.
Well, we're glad you came, and glad y'all were successful.
We appreciate you. We've been on 2 hunts with Pistol Creek officially. Both of us have gotten 2 successful hunts out of it. So,
and we had and I've had a successful hunt both times I've gone hunting with you, except I have yet to pull the trigger when these 2 are around. So
it's because you're very kind and you're showing us your world.
No, I've been pretty much getting my butt whooped the last 2 days.
That's one of my favorite things when we're walking around the woods with John, and John's just you can tell you love the game.
Yeah.
Because you'll be calling and you listen, you'll be calling. About an hour into it, you're like, you ever gotten in a fight? I'm like, well, yeah. He's like, you ever gotten your butt kicked? I'm like, yeah. He's like, that's what getting your butt kicked looks like.
Right.
But
they usually win. The turkeys usually win.
Tyler said earlier, man, he's like, I've been on more unsuccessful technically hunts, but man, the fellowship is what it's all about. So we have a blast hanging out with you guys every time, getting to meet all your new friends, which is really cool. Telling stories, cooking together. So
well, we're so glad you did. And look, we gotta do this more often. We can't wait till turkey season.
I'm down.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
all right.
All right, so we're going to wrap up, guys. We appreciate you listening. If you're watching or listening, this has been another episode of What's Cooking with the McLemore Boys. Be sure to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow the McLemore Boys. And make sure you follow Pistol Creek.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Pistol Creek on Instagram and Facebook and Tinder?
I don't know.
Grind.
Patchen's done been to bed. I know it is on Facebook and Instagram. But the
make
rest
sure you
of them is over my
follow
head.
Pistol Creek. John Browning, co-founder of Pistol Creek. Appreciate you being on here. We always ask our guests to take us out. If you'll look at that camera right there and say, from our table to yours, God bless.
Which camera?
This one right
There's
here.
5 of them. The phone there?
Yeah.
From our table to yours. Hold on, tell me again what to say. It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
It's 1:20.
From our table to yours, God bless.
From our table to yours, God bless.
Woo! Let's go. That was great, dude.